So sorry about that. Now that we've touched on overnight bodybuilders, and I've recorded 3 whole parts of this episode because my phone sucks, we all know that just because you lift a few 15-pound dumbbells and get a tingle in your nuts, that you are not Jackie Chan, you are not Ronnie Coleman, you are just a little guy who started working out. And I can only say that because I was also a nerdy, wimpy, skinny guy who lifted a few weights and thought he was Billy Badass and got humbled. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy. Don't be walking around thinking you're Billy Badass because you've lifted a few weights and you think that you can beat everyone's ass because you can't. Like I said, even people who train and fight professionally do not have that mindset, so you should not either. All right, now that we have talked about gym personalities, people screaming in the gym, people being dicks about filming their set, people loitering on equipment, and people thinking that they are Billy Badass because they've lifted a few weights and got a tingle in their nuts. All right, so for a little snippet, we are going to look up honestly, I don't really think I had anything prepared for a little snippet. So we're gonna look up let's brainstorm here. What's a good band? White Zombie back in the day. All right, let's look up a White Zombie concert. '90s live. White Zombie live in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know, White Zombie was Rob Zombie's band before he went solo. They were a very big band in the 90s and were very popular in the metal scene. So let's look at White Zombie performing at, White Zombie performing Thrust live in 1993. Here's what we got for a little snippet on tonight's episode of Unqualified Opinions. White Zombie performing Thrust live in 1993, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Look at those dreads. Oh, hell yeah. You guys can see it's a very young Rob Zombie. Very skinny, very young Rob Zombie right there. I'd say he was probably early 20s around this era. Very early career of Rob Zombie, ladies and gentlemen. For the Rob Zombie fans watching, it's a very cool piece of Rob Zombie's career. All right, hell yeah. You see, he sounds very similar live to his recordings. Very good artist, Rob Zombie. Alright, hell yeah. All right, y'all. That's about a 5-minute snippet there, but usually the songs I show a little snippet are about 2 minutes long. I don't want to keep you guys watching something for too long that you guys might not want to watch, because like I said, I know I'm a big metal lover, but a lot of my friends really aren't as into metal as me. But I just wanted to show you guys a little snippet of White Zombie performing Thrust in 1993 on a night that it looks like a lot of people were enjoying themselves and having a fun time. That is a good thing. I love seeing people having a good time, especially at a White Zombie show in 1993. What a great year to be alive. I wouldn't know, but lucky to anyone who was there that night in 1993 at the White Zombie concert. All right, now that we are done with a little snippet, and I've recorded many parts of this episode, I do apologize about that still. We're going to make a special announcement about how we have a new whole episode coming every week. On Wednesday, me and my stepdad, Chris, will be having a whole episode dedicated to wrestling. On Wednesdays, we will have a whole podcast where we talk about current wrestling, old wrestling, what we want out of wrestling, and what wrestling just really used to be, and how we miss it. So tune in on Wednesday nights. We're going to be recording the Wednesday night episodes on Tuesday nights and dropping them on Wednesday night. So if you are a fan of wrestling, please tune in Wednesday nights for me and my stepdad. We're going to talk about wrestling. It will be fun, and I'm very excited to start Wrestling Wednesdays. It's going to be very, very, very enjoyable for everybody involved. Okay, people, I can't express how fucking thankful I am for anyone who has genuinely been sitting here since my first cringeworthy video of me talking about dating, even though it's only been like a week. But it's I've already come a decent amount of I've already made some progress from my first few videos, and I like to see it. I hope everyone else does too. Or whether you watched me ramble on about new metal, or watched me talk about how the 2000s were awesome, or maybe last night you tuned into me talking about the crazy things people do when they're drunk. I think those are all topics that we can relate to, or just agree on that it is something that people of this generation miss. Just normal dating, good music, fun, simple times, and just, if you're getting drunk, as I stated numerous times on my last episode, be safe, please. I used to be an alcoholic. I've done a lot of stupid things, ruined a lot of relationships with alcohol. It's never worth it. Please be safe with alcohol if you're using alcohol at all. All right. As I've stated on a lot of other of my shows, if you know me personally, whether it be a coworker, whether it be a friend, I don't care if we know each other super well, if we are on friendly terms, and you have even said hi to me in passing, please don't feel weird to come up to me and say, hey, I want to be in your podcast. I would love to have guests. I don't care. I will have a whole show written up, ready and waiting for us. You don't have to prepare any content or be nervous. It's okay. And I will make sure that you are comforted and not feeling weird about being on camera. It will be a fun time, I swear, and I will really like anybody who wants to come on my podcast. It would be a very fun time, and a cold beverage will be provided for each guest during the duration of the podcast. Everybody who is on my podcast will receive a cold beverage during the whole episode, because you get a very dry throat when you're talking for 45 minutes to an hour about anything you want. Love it. All right. Now, please, if you have been watching my videos and have been keeping up, and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It is the main thing that's going to support me and keep me going. As well, I'm working. I don't know when it's going to be on, but I'm working on getting my podcast to Spotify. So those of you who don't want to watch, or who have a lot of time on the road and would just like to listen to my podcast. I will be uploading it to Spotify. But if you just like listening, I think there is a way to just listen to my podcast on YouTube and just exit out of the actual video. So if you want to just listen, I will be getting on Spotify very soon, and I'm working on that for all of the people who enjoy my podcast. Okay, shout out to all of anyone who. My only shout out at the end of this video, because like I said, I've shout out to my parents, and I shout out my 3 friends, Jacob, Brian, and Dusty, every episode, because they are my people who send me in the funny videos of the week. But I want to give a shout out to anyone who is watching this right now, whether you know me, whether you don't, whether you like me, whether you don't. I want to appreciate. I want to tell you that I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day, night, afternoon, and whatever, to watch my podcast. And even if it was just to make fun of me or laugh at me, I do appreciate you taking the time to view it. So shout out to anyone watching this. I really appreciate you taking the time to view my podcast, and I am going to keep doing this until I reach the fan base that I want. Like I said, I don't want to be famous. I want a decent sized fan base who is loyal to me, responds to me, and gives me content, and genuinely enjoys listening to me talk and watching me show you guys ridiculous things on the internet. So please tell me if you like this podcast. I would really appreciate it. So now that we have covered gym personalities, and we have made our shout outs. We unfortunately weren't able to watch the funny video of the night, and I went through hell and back just trying to record this episode. I'm sorry, it's going to be cut into like 2 or 3 parts, and I'm very, 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 very sorry about that, because I hate recording episodes in parts. I want it to be one full episode that will get better, and I will fix that, especially when I get an actual camera, not just a phone. So just remember, honorable mention, the clothesline from hell. Do not clothesline old men in the bar, or leave it to the professionals like John Bradshaw Layfield, who has been doing it for over 30 years and can safely do it without killing anybody. Leave it to John Bradshaw Layfield to clothesline men, not you. And honorable mention, when your friend invites their girlfriend or boyfriend to girls' night or guys' night, do you get pissed off, or are you okay with it because you enjoy the company of your friend, and you support your friend and the person they're dating? Okay, and then we talked about how we are going to be introducing a new day, Wrestling Wednesdays. Please tune in on Wednesday nights for me and my stepdad, Chris, to be talking about wrestling and the modern topics of wrestling, and even old stuff that I'm sure a lot of the people who grew up in the 90s and watched wrestling would really enjoy watching and listening to us, because if you want to see a really good long pod where you can just put us on for background noise for hours, me and my stepdad are probably going to be having 3-hour pods. When me and him get down to business, and when it talks about wrestling, when me and him get down to business, when it comes to talking about wrestling, it is something. So it is going to be a very fun episode when we start doing that. So I really do appreciate all of you. Please subscribe, like, and share. I hope you all have a magnificent rest of your night, day, afternoon. You guys know what I say every time. I'm going to keep saying it, but I hope you all have a magnificent rest of your night, day, afternoon, whatever the case may be. I am your host, Michael Slattery. This has been the 5th official episode of Unqualified Opinions. Thank you for tuning in.